Patience is one of the most misunderstood strengths in the world. Many people confuse it with passivity, weakness, or laziness, when in reality patience is discipline, control, and vision. It is the quiet confidence that life's greatest rewards are not found in rushing, but in waiting, nurturing, and persevering. Like a hidden force, it shapes success stories, heals broken hearts, and turns ordinary people into extraordinary ones. Think of the farmer who plants his crops. After covering the seeds with soil, he doesn't dig them up the next day to see if they've grown. He waits, he waters, and he trusts nature. His patience is not idle, it's active. He wakes early, tends to his field, removes weeds, and protects his crops from pests. And one day, after weeks or months of unseen progress, his harvest comes. Life is no different. What you're nurturing today might not be visible yet, but beneath the surface, growth is happening. We live in a world where speed is worshipped. Instant messages, fast food, same-day deliveries, everything encourages us to expect results instantly. While convenience is useful, it conditions the mind to believe that life's biggest reward should come just as fast. But here lies the truth: anything of real value, love, mastery, wealth, wisdom, healing, takes time. Instant pleasures fade quickly, but slow-built treasures endure for generations. Patience, therefore, is more than a virtue, it's a necessity. Without it, dreams collapse under the weight of frustration. Without it, relationships crumble under the pressure of unrealistic expectations. Without it, self-growth halts because we demand progress faster than our minds and hearts can sustain. Patience is the bridge between effort and reward, between vision and reality. It is what keeps you steady when the journey feels long and the results are still unseen. History is filled with examples of patience shaping greatness. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before he emerged to lead a nation. Thomas Edison made over 1,000 attempts before inventing the light bulb. Mother Teresa spent decades serving quietly before the world honored her work. None of them could have reached their purpose if they had demanded instant results. Their patience gave birth to legacies. But patience is not only about external success, it's also about inner peace. A patient person learns to trust life's timing. Instead of forcing things to happen, they allow life to unfold naturally. Instead of panicking when delays come, they find calm in knowing that delays are often divine protection or preparation. This inner trust frees the mind from constant anxiety and gives the heart the courage to keep going. Imagine a seed underground. From the surface, it looks like nothing is happening. Days pass, then weeks, and still no sign of life. But beneath the soil, roots are spreading, foundations are being laid, and the seed is preparing to rise. That's exactly how your dreams work. You may not see immediate results, but progress is taking place in silence. The question is, will you give up before the sprout breaks through? Or will you trust the unseen process? Patience also reshapes how we see challenges. When difficulties come, an impatient heart sees failure, but a patient heart sees preparation. Delays are not denials, they are opportunities for growth. Every obstacle, every setback, every closed door is a lesson in disguise. With patience, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead ask, "What is this teaching me?" That shift alone transforms how you experience life. In truth, patience is not about time, it's about mindset. Two people can face the same delay. One becomes frustrated, bitter, and hopeless, while the other remains calm, consistent, and hopeful. The difference lies in perspective. When you see waiting as wasted time, you suffer. But when you see waiting as part of growth, you find strength. The one who learns to wait well will always outlast the one who tries to rush. As we begin this journey together, let these words sink deep into your spirit. Good things take time. Be patient. The life you desire, the person you want to become, the dreams you want to achieve, they are possible. But they will require your patience. They will require you to trust the process, stay consistent, and not give up when progress feels invisible. The silent power of patience is working for you, even when you can't see it. And when the time is right, the harvest will come, and it will be worth every moment of waiting. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Instant Gratification. We live in a time where speed defines value. The faster something happens, the more impressive it seems. You can order food with one tap and have it delivered within minutes. You can scroll through endless entertainment with a single swipe. You can post a photo and get instant validation in the form of likes and comments. This culture of now has conditioned us to believe that life's greatest treasures should arrive just as quickly. But deep inside, we all know that the most important things in life, success, love, peace, mastery, cannot be rushed. The danger of instant gratification lies in the illusion it creates. It tricks us into thinking we are progressing when, in reality, we may only be feeding a temporary craving. Just as sugar gives a sudden rush but leaves the body weak, instant gratification provides momentary joy but rarely builds anything lasting. It is a short spark, not a steady flame. And when we chase sparks instead of fire, we end up empty, exhausted, and endlessly searching for more. Think about the way technology has reshaped our patience. Years ago, people wrote letters and waited weeks for a reply. Today, if someone doesn't respond to a text within minutes, we feel ignored. This shift has not only shortened our attention spans but also weakened our ability to endure waiting. We've forgotten that waiting is not wasted time. It is where growth, preparation, and strength are formed. When you buy into the illusion of instant gratification, you also buy into disappointment. Why? Because real life doesn't move at the speed of your desires. You may want your business to explode overnight, but building trust with customers takes years. You may want your dream body in a month, but fitness requires consistency over time. You may want love that feels perfect instantly, but true intimacy takes seasons of understanding. And so, when reality doesn't match our rushed expectations, we feel discouraged, frustrated, and sometimes tempted to quit. The truth is, nothing worth having comes instantly. Even nature refuses to be rushed. A child takes 9 months to form in the womb. A tree takes years to grow before bearing fruit. A diamond takes immense pressure and time before it shines. Life has always whispered this truth: anything that lasts must be built slowly. It is only our modern impatience that has made us blind to this law of growth. When you train yourself to love instant gratification, you also train yourself to hate patience. You become allergic to silence, allergic to slow progress, allergic to the waiting period. And yet, ironically, the waiting period is where your character is shaped. It is where you learn discipline, resilience, and endurance. Without patience, you may get what you want quickly, but you won't be able to sustain it. That is why so many people rise fast and fall just as fast. Consider the so-called overnight successes we admire. From the outside, it looks like they appeared suddenly, without warning, without struggle. But if you dig deeper, you will always discover years of unseen work. Late nights, rejections, failures, countless hours of practice. What we see as instant is often just the final visible step of a long, invisible journey. The illusion of instant gratification blinds us to the hidden process behind every great achievement. The mind craves quick results because waiting feels uncomfortable. But that discomfort is not a punishment, it is a teacher. Waiting teaches humility. It teaches trust. It teaches patience. And most importantly, it prepares you for what is coming. If your dream arrived today but you weren't ready for it, it could destroy you. Instant gratification skips the preparation stage, but patience ensures you can carry the weight of your blessings when they arrive. The problem is not that people dream too big, it's that they demand those dreams too quickly. They want the reward without the process, the harvest without the planting, the crown without the cross. But life doesn't work that way. Shortcuts may give you a taste of success, but they rob you of the strength you gain through endurance. The journey is what qualifies you to handle the destination. Without it, even the best gift can feel like a burden. So as we close this first chapter, understand this: instant gratification is a trap. It promises happiness but delivers emptiness. It offers speed but steals depth. It may give you something now, but it can never give you something that lasts. Patience, on the other hand, is the bridge between desire and destiny. The sooner you let go of the illusion of instant gratification, the sooner you free yourself to embrace the real process of growth. And when you do, you'll discover that slow progress is still progress, and in the end, it always leads to something greater. Chapter 2: The Seed in the Oak Tree. Every great story of growth begins in silence, hidden from the eyes of the world. A seed, when first buried in the earth, looks lifeless. Covered in darkness, surrounded by dirt and pressed down by weight, it seems to be trapped. But in that very silence, transformation begins. Within the seed, a silent force is at work, nature's blueprint unfolding, slowly and patiently. The seed does not rush. It knows instinctively that greatness takes time. The oak tree, one of the strongest and longest living trees in the world, begins as a seed so small you could hold it in the palm of your hand. For months, sometimes years, it remains hidden beneath the ground. No one sees its struggle. No one applauds its effort. But the seed keeps pushing, extending tiny roots into the soil, anchoring itself deeper before ever daring to rise above. This is the secret of patience. The unseen work is the foundation of visible success. If the seed were to rush, to sprout too soon without strong roots, the first storm would destroy it. The winds would pull it from the earth, and its journey would end before it truly began. But the oak waits. It waits through seasons of rain and drought, through cold nights and hot days, slowly becoming ready. When the time is right, the seed breaks the soil, not as a weak sprout, but as a survivor that has prepared itself for the challenges ahead. In life, you are the seed. Your dreams, goals, and ambitions are the oak tree you are destined to become. Just like the seed, your growth may often be invisible to others. Friends may not understand why you're working late, why you're saving money instead of spending, why you're studying instead of partying. They don't see the roots you're building. But one day when you rise, the world will notice. And they will call you an overnight success, without realizing how long you prepared underground. Patience is the hidden stage of growth. The season when nothing seems to be happening but everything is. Too often, people abandon their dreams because they don't see instant results. They dig up their seed too early, checking if it has grown, only to destroy what was forming in silence. Remember this. Just because you don't see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Some of the most powerful transformations happen in the dark, away from the spotlight. Think about it. The tallest oak trees in history lived for centuries, outlasting empires and generations. But they all started with a small seed that refused to rush. That seed had to endure storms before becoming strong enough to stand tall. You too must endure your silent season, your hidden battles, your lonely efforts. These moments are not wasted. They are shaping you, deepening your roots, and preparing you for the storms you will face once you grow. There's a lesson here: depth before height. The seed first grows downward before it grows upward. Its first instinct is not to show itself, but to strengthen itself. In the same way, your first instinct should not be to impress others, but to improve yourself. Build your skills, discipline, and character. Strengthen your mindset. Create roots so deep that when life storms come, and they will, nothing can pull you out of the ground. Many people want to be seen before they are ready. They want the spotlight before they build the strength to carry it. But what happens when fame, success, or responsibility comes too soon? Without roots, they collapse under the pressure. Look around and you'll see countless examples, people who rose too quickly but fell just as fast. Be different. Choose patience. Choose to grow in silence, trusting that your time will come. When the oak tree finally rises, it does not apologize for taking time. It doesn't say, "I'm sorry I grew so slowly." Instead, it stands firm, its branches wide, its shade comforting to all who rest beneath it. That is the reward of patience. The oak tree becomes a symbol of strength, stability, and endurance. And so will you if you allow yourself the gift of time. So, let this be your reminder: if you feel buried, you are not buried to die, you are planted to grow. Your hidden season is not punishment but preparation. The darkness you are in now is not the end of your story, but the beginning of something greater. Just like the seed that becomes an oak, your time will come. And when it does, your strength will not only carry you, but also inspire and shelter others. Good things take time. Be patient, you are growing into greatness. Chapter 3. Patience is not waiting, it's working while you wait. Patience is one of the most misunderstood virtues. Too often, people imagine it as sitting quietly, doing nothing, and simply waiting for something good to happen. But that's not patience, that's passivity. True patience is not idle. True patience is active. It is showing up, putting in the effort, and moving forward, even when results are not visible yet. It is persistence without desperation. It is endurance without complaint. Patience is not about folding your arms and staring at the clock. It's about using every moment wisely while trusting that time will eventually reveal the reward. Think about the farmer who plants a field of crops. After placing the seeds into the soil, he doesn't sit in a chair all day waiting for them to grow. No, he waters them, clears the weeds, protects the land from pests, and tends to the soil. The farmer is patient, but his patience is active. He knows he cannot control the timing of the harvest, but he also knows the harvest will never come if he does not keep working while he waits. This is the balance of patience, trusting the timing while still putting in the daily effort. When you adopt this mindset, patience becomes a powerful tool for growth. Many people lose faith in their dreams because they confuse silence with stagnation. They think, nothing is happening, so maybe it will never happen. But that silence is not the end of your story, it is the invisible season of preparation. During that season, your job is to continue building your skills, sharpening your tools, and positioning yourself for the opportunity that will come. When you work while you wait, you ensure that when the door opens, you are strong enough to walk through it. Consider the story of an athlete training for the Olympics. 4 years they wake up before dawn, train relentlessly, eat with discipline, and practice techniques that no one is watching. They don't know the exact moment when success will arrive, but they trust that every day of effort matters. They are patient, but their patience looks like sweat, discipline, and relentless training. When the day of competition finally comes, the world only sees the glory of victory. But behind that victory lies years of patience. Patience that was not idle but filled with action. The danger of misunderstanding patience is that it leads to wasted time. Too many people sit around waiting for life to hand them success, love, or happiness, without realizing that patience requires preparation. If you are waiting for a better job, are you also improving your skills, learning new things, or applying consistently? If you are waiting for the right relationship, are you working on yourself to become the kind of partner you hope to attract? If you are waiting for success, are you building your character and discipline so you can handle it when it arrives? Patience without preparation is simply procrastination. Active patience also teaches you consistency. It's not about working once in a while and then quitting because results don't show immediately. It's about creating routines, habits, and disciplines that carry you forward day after day. The most successful people are not necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who kept working, improving, and showing up even when no one was applauding. Their patience was not a quiet wish. It was a continuous effort fueled by faith in the future. Another aspect of working while you wait is the ability to embrace small progress. Too often, we dismiss little improvements because we are only looking for big results. But every page written, every skill practiced, every dollar saved, every workout completed is a step forward. These steps may feel small in the moment, but compounded over time, they create massive transformation. Active patience celebrates the little victories while keeping an eye on the big goal. It's about saying, I may not be there yet, but I am further than I was yesterday. Patience also protects you from desperation. When you are actively working while you wait, you don't feel the urge to chase shortcuts or settle for less than you deserve. You know you're building something real, something lasting, something that will stand the test of time. Desperation comes from inaction, from sitting and hoping while doing nothing. But when you're engaged in purposeful work, you remain calm, knowing that progress is happening even if it is slow. Finally, patience builds character. Working while you wait develops endurance, self-discipline, and humility. It trains you to focus on the process rather than just the reward. When success does arrive, you will appreciate it more deeply because you know what it cost you in terms of time, energy, and effort. And because you built it slowly, you will know how to protect it, sustain it, and multiply it. Impatience may get you something quickly, but it rarely allows you to keep it. Patience, on the other hand, builds not just achievement, but wisdom. So remember, patience is not a passive waiting game. It is not standing still, staring at the horizon and wishing for miracles. Patience is moving forward without rushing, working without complaining, and believing without doubting. The most powerful dreams are built in silence, through countless invisible days of hard work and faith. If you want the life you desire, do not just wait for it, prepare for it, build for it, work for it. Because true patience is not about doing nothing, it's about doing everything you can, while trusting the timing of the things you cannot control. Chapter 4. The Danger of Quitting Too Early. There is a tragic truth that echoes through the lives of countless dreamers. Many never fail because their dreams were impossible, they fail because they quit too early. Imagine a miner digging through rock, tirelessly swinging his pickaxe day after day. Unbeknownst to him, just a few inches away lies the vein of gold he has been chasing. But one morning, exhausted and discouraged, he puts down his tools and walks away. Someone else comes, swings only a few times, and strikes treasure. This story repeats in real life more than we can count. We often underestimate just how close we are to breakthrough when the temptation to quit feels strongest. Psychologists call this the last mile problem. The final stretch of any journey feels the hardest, the longest, and the most painful. Runners in a marathon feel their bodies breaking down at the last few miles, not at the beginning. Entrepreneurs feel the weight of rejection and failure most heavily right before success finally cracks open. Life tests you hardest when you are closest to the finish line. Consider authors whose manuscripts were rejected dozens of times, only to later produce world-famous bestsellers. Imagine if they had stopped at rejection number 10 or 20. J.K. Rowling was rejected by multiple publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. If she had surrendered to discouragement, the world would never have known Hogwarts. Your dream may also be one yes away, but you will never know if you stop before it arrives. The danger of quitting too early is not just about lost success, it's about lost potential. When you quit, you silence the story that could have been written. You never get to know the version of yourself you could have become. The pain of failure fades with time, but the regret of giving up lingers for a lifetime. Ask the elderly what they regret most, and it's rarely what they tried and failed, it's the chances they never took, the dreams they abandoned too soon. Patience is the bridge that carries you across the darkest moments of doubt. When nothing seems to move, when progress feels invisible, when all the voices around you say, "It's time to give up," that is when patience becomes your secret weapon. Quitting is easy. Enduring is rare. And endurance separates the ones who taste victory from the ones who walk away empty-handed. Think about the bamboo plant. 4 years after planting, it shows no sign of growth above the ground. You water it, nurture it, and still the soil looks empty. But beneath the surface, roots are spreading wide and deep, preparing to sustain massive growth. Then suddenly, in just a few weeks, the bamboo shoots up several feet into the air. Had you given up watering it in the silent years, you would have missed its explosive breakthrough. Your life often works the same way. There's also a psychological trap called the Valley of Disappointment. It's the stage where your effort feels greater than your results. You're working hard, but the outcomes don't seem to match your investment. This is where most people quit. Yet what they don't realize is that results in life are rarely linear. They come exponentially, slowly at first, then suddenly all at once. The danger of quitting in the valley is that you miss the upward curve that was just about to lift you. Even in personal growth, the same principle applies. Maybe you're trying to break a bad habit, heal from emotional pain, or develop a skill. The early stages are always discouraging because progress is invisible. You don't notice the small shifts happening inside you. But just because you can't see transformation yet doesn't mean it isn't taking place. Just like the seed under the soil, growth often happens in silence. Remember, when you quit, you're not just giving up on a goal. You're giving up on the person you were becoming along the way. Every challenge you endure builds resilience, character, and wisdom. When you surrender, you lose the lessons, the strength, and the maturity that patience was carving into you. Success is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become. And if you quit too soon, you rob yourself of both. So when the weight of discouragement presses down, remind yourself, the darkest hour is just before dawn. The last stretch feels the hardest because it's where transformation is happening. Don't let frustration write the end of your story. Hold on a little longer, breathe a little deeper, and take one more step. Your breakthrough may be closer than you think. The danger of quitting too early is real, but so is the reward of holding on. And if you choose patience over surrender, life will surprise you in ways you never imagined. Chapter 5. The Psychological Benefits of Patience. Patience is often spoken of as if it were only a moral virtue, a quiet discipline we practice to be good. But in reality, patience is far more than that. It is a powerful psychological tool that can transform the way we think, feel, and act. To be patient is to free yourself from the mental prison of urgency. It is to create space between impulse and action, between frustration and peace. When you choose patience, you are not merely waiting, you are reshaping your mind into something stronger, calmer, and wiser. The first psychological benefit of patience is a reduction in anxiety. Think about the last time you were in a hurry, rushing to meet a deadline, anxious for a text reply, desperate for a result. Your heart beat faster, your thoughts raced, and your breathing became shallow. Patience does the opposite. It slows you down, steadies your breath, and releases your body from the grip of constant tension. When you learn to wait with trust, your nervous system calms down, and you realize that not everything needs to happen at once for you to be okay. Patience also teaches self-control, one of the most powerful traits a human being can develop. In a world where temptations surround us, instant pleasures, fast money, quick distractions, the ability to resist immediate satisfaction in favor of something greater tomorrow is life-changing. Psychologists call this delayed gratification, and countless studies show that those who master it are more successful, healthier, and happier in the long run. Patience strengthens your mental discipline, giving you the inner power to say, "Not now, but later when the time is right." Another benefit of patience is clarity of thought. When you are impatient, your mind becomes clouded with stress and agitation. You make hasty decisions, react emotionally, and often regret the outcomes. But when you slow down, when you give yourself time, the fog clears. Patience allows wisdom to rise to the surface. It creates a space for rational thinking, for deeper reflection, and for making choices you will be proud of, not choices you'll wish you could take back. Patience is also a shield against anger and frustration. How many arguments, how many broken relationships, how many missed opportunities were caused not by the situation itself, but by someone's inability to wait calmly? Impatience magnifies small problems into giant ones. Patience, however, acts like water on fire, cooling tempers, dissolving tension, and replacing conflict with understanding. A patient person sees the bigger picture and does not allow temporary irritation to destroy long-term peace. Furthermore, patience fosters emotional resilience. Life will not always move at the pace you want. There will be delays, setbacks, and seasons of waiting. An impatient mind collapses under these pressures, drowning in discouragement. But a patient mind bends without breaking. It adapts. It says, "This season is hard, but it is not permanent. I can endure." This resilience makes you not only stronger mentally but also more prepared to face the unpredictability of life. Patience also increases empathy and compassion. When you learn to wait, you also learn to understand others, their struggles, their delays, their imperfections. Instead of demanding instant responses or quick results from people, you begin to honor their humanity. You realize that just as you are a work in progress, so are they. This makes your relationships deeper, more forgiving, and filled with grace. Patience, therefore, is not only about how you treat yourself but also about how you treat others. There is also a deep link between patience and gratitude. When you stop rushing through life, you begin to notice the beauty of the present moment. You stop obsessing over what you don't have and start appreciating what you do have. Impatience blinds you to blessings because you are always looking ahead. Patience opens your eyes, teaching you to savor the journey, not just the destination. Psychologically, this shift creates happiness not dependent on achievements but rooted in everyday life. On a deeper level, patience builds trust, not just in others but in yourself and in life itself. When you wait without fear, you are declaring that you believe in your own ability to handle whatever comes. You trust your effort, your growth, and the process of time. You also trust that life has seasons, and what is delayed is not necessarily denied. This trust brings peace, a psychological anchor that keeps you steady even when the waters of life are turbulent. Finally, patience transforms you into a person of strength. Society often paints impatience as power, the ability to demand, to push, to rush. But true strength is quiet. It is the ability to remain calm when everything else is restless, to keep believing when results are invisible, and to keep working without applause. Patience is strength disguised as stillness. And the longer you cultivate it, the more unshakable your mind becomes. Chapter 6: Patience in Relationships. Relationships are like gardens, they need time, care, and attention to grow. Many of us enter relationships expecting instant harmony, instant understanding, and instant love. But the truth is, meaningful connections rarely blossom overnight. They are nurtured slowly through shared experiences, understanding, and patience. If you try to rush them, you risk breaking the delicate bond that could have grown into something extraordinary. Patience is the invisible fertilizer that strengthens relationships over time. Love, in particular, is not a spark that burns once and vanishes. It is a fire that grows slowly if fed carefully. When you rush love, you might mistake infatuation for true connection, passion for commitment. True love develops as two people learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, joys and fears, habits and quirks. It is only by patiently walking together through life's ups and downs that love reaches its depth and endurance. Trust is another cornerstone of every meaningful relationship, and trust cannot be demanded, it must be earned over time. Impatience in relationships often leads to suspicion, misunderstandings, and unnecessary conflicts. When you understand that trust builds gradually, you stop pushing for immediate reassurance or proof, and instead allow the relationship to mature naturally. By giving yourself and your partner the grace of time, trust forms a solid foundation that withstands the storms of doubt and insecurity. Communication is the lifeline of any connection, but it too requires patience. Listening is as important as speaking, and sometimes, listening demands more effort than talking. When you patiently hear someone out without interrupting, judging, or rushing to respond, you create a space for true understanding. Patience in conversation allows emotions to settle, perspectives to be clarified, and conflicts to be resolved peacefully. Over time, this practice transforms ordinary conversations into profound moments of connection. Conflict is inevitable in every relationship, but how we handle it defines the longevity of our bonds. Impatience often turns minor disagreements into full-blown arguments. But when you approach conflict with patience, you give yourself and your partner time to cool off, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. Patience allows you to separate anger from truth, reaction from understanding, and ego from empathy. This creates a safe environment where conflicts become opportunities for growth rather than seeds of resentment. Personal growth also plays a crucial role in relationships, and patience is required here as well. Every individual has their own journey, and expecting someone to change according to your timeline is unfair and unrealistic. When you patiently accept your partner's pace of growth and encourage it without pressure, you strengthen the relationship. This patience teaches respect, empathy, and the understanding that both of you are evolving together, step by step, toward better versions of yourselves. Romantic relationships often suffer because people focus on the outcome rather than the journey. They want instant compatibility, instant happiness, and instant perfection. But true intimacy grows slowly, like roots winding deeply underground before they ever break the surface. By practicing patience, you learn to appreciate small moments, celebrate gradual progress, and savor the quiet, beautiful moments of connection that might otherwise go unnoticed. Patience is equally vital in friendships. Friendships, like romantic relationships, require trust, loyalty, and time to develop. Impatient expectations can strain bonds, as people may leave when misunderstandings arise or when challenges appear. By allowing friends to grow and supporting them through their ups and downs, you create relationships that last a lifetime. Patience in friendships often translates into unwavering loyalty and a deep sense of shared history that strengthens the bond with every passing year. Family relationships, too, demand patience. Parents, siblings, and relatives each come with their own expectations, experiences, and temperaments. Conflict, Disagreement and misunderstandings are common, but rushing to judgment or acting out of frustration can damage these bonds. Practicing patience in family relationships means listening without interrupting, forgiving without resentment, and giving space without alienation. It transforms ordinary family interactions into profound experiences of love, understanding, and connection. Finally, patience in relationships teaches a universal truth, that love and connection are not destinations, they are journeys. There is no rush to reach perfection because perfection is not the point. The beauty lies in the slow, deliberate growth of understanding, empathy, and mutual respect. By being patient, you allow your relationships to mature naturally, creating bonds that are resilient, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Remember, just as good things take time in life, the most precious relationships flourish when given the space and patience to grow. Chapter 7: Patience in your career and business. When it comes to building a career or a business, the temptation to seek instant success is stronger than ever. In today's world, we see stories of young entrepreneurs who seemingly made it overnight, and it's easy to believe that rapid success is normal. But the truth is that these stories rarely show the years of quiet effort, countless mistakes, and unseen struggles behind the spotlight. Patience in your professional journey is not just a virtue. It is a critical strategy that separates those who endure from those who burn out too soon. Building a meaningful career begins with the willingness to start small and embrace incremental growth. Many people overlook entry-level opportunities, internships, or early-stage positions because they feel beneath them. Yet these roles often provide invaluable experience, networking, and skill building that form the foundation of long-term success. By committing to growth and learning at every stage, you prepare yourself for the opportunities that will arrive only to those who have patiently cultivated their abilities. In business, the same principle applies. A startup or new venture rarely thrives instantly. The first product may fail, marketing campaigns may fall flat, and clients may be slow to arrive. This is not a sign of failure. It is the natural rhythm of growth. Each challenge is a lesson, each setback is a step closer to understanding your market, refining your strategy, and strengthening your resilience. Patience allows you to persevere through these difficult phases without abandoning your vision prematurely. One of the most overlooked aspects of patience in professional growth is the cultivation of expertise. Mastery does not happen overnight. Whether you are learning a trade, developing technical skills, or perfecting your craft, true excellence comes from persistent practice over months and years. By investing time in learning deeply rather than superficially, you create a competitive advantage that cannot be replicated by shortcuts or quick fixes. Patience becomes your secret weapon, quietly preparing you for opportunities that others are too impatient to wait for. Networking and relationships also require patience. Professional connections do not yield instant results. Building trust, credibility, and meaningful partnerships takes time. You cannot force mentorships or loyal clients. These are earned through consistent effort, reliability, and authenticity. By patiently nurturing these relationships, you create a support network that will carry you through challenges, open doors to unexpected opportunities, and anchor your professional growth. Financial patience is another critical component. Many aspiring entrepreneurs are tempted to pursue quick profits, chasing trends or taking shortcuts that promise immediate returns. However, sustainable wealth is built over time, often through careful planning, disciplined saving, and strategic reinvestment. By delaying gratification and focusing on long-term goals, you protect yourself from the volatility of impulsive decisions and position yourself for lasting success. Patience also shapes your mindset in dealing with professional setbacks. In careers and business, failure is inevitable. Deals will fall through, promotions will be delayed, and projects will encounter unforeseen obstacles. Those who rush or panic often react impulsively, making poor choices in an attempt to force progress. The patient professional, however, approaches setbacks with a calm and analytical mindset, using each challenge as an opportunity to adapt, learn, and grow stronger. Another benefit of patience in your career is the ability to make thoughtful, strategic decisions. In fast-paced environments, the pressure to act quickly can lead to mistakes, missed opportunities, or choices driven by fear rather than vision. By taking the time to assess options, gather information, and weigh consequences, you position yourself to make decisions that are not only effective but also sustainable. Patience in decision-making reduces regret and enhances your long-term trajectory. Consistency is the bridge between patience and achievement. Showing up every day, performing your tasks diligently, and maintaining high standards even when progress seems slow builds credibility and reputation. Employers, clients, and collaborators notice consistency. It may not make headlines immediately, but over time, consistent effort compounds into significant results. Patience ensures that your consistency does not waver when immediate rewards are absent. Finally, patience in career and business cultivates resilience and inner peace. When you understand that success is a journey, not a race, you are less likely to be consumed by envy, frustration, or burnout. You develop a mindset that values progress over perfection and long-term growth over instant gratification. By embracing patience, you create the mental and emotional foundation to weather uncertainty, seize opportunities, and achieve enduring success that reflects not only your skills but also your persistence and character. Chapter 8. Learning from failure without rushing to fix it. Failure is a word that scares most people. The moment we experience it, we want to run, hide, or immediately correct our mistakes. But what if failure is not a stop sign but a guide? What if the very moment you fail is actually one of the most powerful opportunities for growth? The first lesson in this chapter is simple. Failure is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a mirror that reflects your current level of understanding and preparation. Rushing to fix it often blinds us to the lesson hidden beneath the discomfort. When we fail, our first impulse is usually to fix it instantly, to erase the embarrassment or the loss, to prove to ourselves and others that we are competent. This impulse is natural but dangerous. In that rush, we often make hasty decisions that only complicate the situation. Instead, pausing, reflecting, and letting the initial shock settle allows us to see the failure in its entirety. It is in the stillness that clarity begins to emerge. Many of life's greatest innovators understood this principle. Thomas Edison, when asked about his thousands of failed attempts to create the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Notice he did not rush to claim victory prematurely. He allowed each failure to teach him something new. This patience with failure is what eventually led to breakthrough. Imagine how different history would be if he had panicked or abandoned his work at the first signs of defeat. Failure also has a way of revealing hidden weaknesses we might otherwise ignore. It exposes gaps in knowledge, in skill, or in planning. If we rush to fix it immediately, we might patch one visible problem while leaving the deeper root causes untouched. Taking time to analyze, question, and explore what went wrong allows us to understand failure not as a curse, but as a map for improvement. Every failure contains clues for the next step forward. Emotional reflection is another essential part of learning from failure. It is okay to feel disappointment, frustration, or even sadness. These emotions are not signs of weakness. They are indicators that we care about the outcome. But instead of suppressing them or masking them with quick fixes, sit with them, acknowledge them, and let them guide you. Emotional honesty combined with patient analysis transforms failure into a powerful motivator rather than a source of shame. Sometimes the best lessons come from doing nothing at all. Not rushing, not overthinking, not trying to immediately repair the mistake, but simply allowing time to process. This period of stillness often leads to insights that no amount of frantic action could produce. The mind needs space to connect dots that are invisible in the chaos of immediate correction. This is why stepping back can be more productive than leaping forward in panic. Learning from failure also requires humility. We must accept that we are not perfect, that we will falter, and that there is value in our missteps. Pride often pushes us to fix things quickly, to save face, or to avoid admitting we were wrong. But humility allows us to embrace failure fully, to see it as a stepping stone rather than a barrier. Every successful person has walked this path. They failed, they reflected, they grew, and they succeeded. There is also a strategic aspect to patience after failure. Not all fixes need to be immediate. Some problems require careful planning, research, and timing. Jumping in too early can waste resources or even worsen the situation. Learning to discern when action is required and when observation is wiser is a skill cultivated only through patience and experience. By resisting the urge to fix everything at once, we give ourselves the advantage of thoughtful, effective solutions. Failure teaches resilience, one of the most underrated traits in life. Each time you fail and resist the temptation to act impulsively, you strengthen your ability to endure challenges. You learn that setbacks are temporary, that mistakes are not final, and that perseverance pays off. Resilience is born not in comfort, but in the careful, patient navigation of life's setbacks. Finally, remember this: every failure is a hidden opportunity, but only if you allow yourself the patience to uncover it. Do not rush. Do not fear the silence. Do not scramble to cover up the cracks. Sit with the failure, study it, learn from it, and let it shape you. When you emerge, you will be wiser, stronger, and better prepared for the next challenge. In this way, failure is not the end of the journey, it is an essential chapter in the story of success. Chapter 9: The Reward of Patience. Patience is often a silent struggle. It asks you to wait while the world around you seems to sprint ahead. Yet, the most beautiful things in life often come not to those who hurry, but to those who endure. The reward of patience is not immediate, but when it arrives, it carries a richness and depth that no shortcut could ever provide. It is in the waiting, in the consistent effort, in the quiet persistence, that life prepares you for the fullness of your success. Think about the artists who painted masterpieces, the writers who crafted stories that moved generations, and the inventors whose breakthroughs changed the world. Each of them endured long seasons of uncertainty, rejection, and struggle. They invested years of unseen work before the world applauded. And yet, when the fruits of their patience finally emerged, they were far more rewarding than if they had been rushed. The reward is sweeter precisely because it is earned. Patience allows you to grow in ways you never imagined. While waiting, you accumulate skills, wisdom, and resilience. You become stronger, more prepared for the challenges that the reward will inevitably bring. Imagine a diamond, formed under intense pressure over thousands of years. If you tried to create it quickly, it would shatter. But time and patience transform the ordinary into something extraordinary. Similarly, your patience transforms your life and your achievements into treasures of lasting value. The reward of patience is also the joy of self-discovery. During the waiting period, you learn who you truly are, what you are capable of, and what matters most to you. You discover hidden strengths and cultivate virtues that you might never have developed in the pursuit of instant gratification. These lessons, often invisible at the moment, become priceless gifts. And when your moment of reward arrives, you are not just celebrating the achievement itself, but also the growth, discipline, and transformation that brought you there. Consider the stories of entrepreneurs who started with nothing. They faced countless failures, financial struggles, and moments when giving up seemed easier than pushing forward. Yet, those who stayed patient, who refined their craft, and who kept building quietly behind the scenes eventually achieved extraordinary success. The reward of patience is not just wealth or recognition. It is the fulfillment of seeing your vision take shape, piece by piece, until it stands tall before you. Patience also teaches gratitude. When something comes quickly, it is often taken for granted. But when you wait, endure, and work, the moment of reward is infused with appreciation. You understand the effort behind every step, the sacrifices, the discipline, and the faith required to reach that point. Gratitude transforms achievement into a lasting source of joy, because you do not simply possess success. You understand and honor the journey that made it possible. The reward of patience is cumulative. Small consistent actions, repeated over months and years, compound into monumental outcomes. The farmer who waters his crops daily does not see instant growth, yet when harvest season arrives he reaps far more than he ever imagined. Life works the same way. Your consistent, patient efforts may feel invisible now, but they are quietly preparing the soil for a future abundant beyond measure. Patience also builds humility. When you wait for your moment, you learn that the world does not owe you immediate results. You learn to respect the process, to embrace the journey, and to value effort over entitlement. This humility not only strengthens your character but also prepares you to receive the reward with grace. Those who hurry often miss the depth of the experience. Those who wait learn that the journey itself is as significant as the destination. Sometimes, the reward of patience arrives in unexpected ways. You may be waiting for one outcome, only to discover that life had something far greater in store. Patience keeps you open, adaptable, and receptive. It allows the universe to orchestrate circumstances, people, and opportunities in perfect alignment. In this way, patience is not passive. It is an active engagement with life, trusting that the best possible outcome will come when the timing is right. Finally, the greatest reward of patience is inner peace. When you trust the timing of your life, you release anxiety, fear, and the constant pressure to rush. You find joy in the present, confidence in your growth, and assurance in your journey. You understand that life is not a race, but a carefully woven story where every chapter matters. And when the reward arrives, whether it is success, love, recognition, or fulfillment, it is not just a fleeting moment. It is a lasting testament to your endurance, your faith, and your ability to wait. Patience is a powerful investment. It asks little in return but offers everything. The reward is not just in the result, but in the transformation it creates within you. By choosing patience, you align yourself with life's natural rhythm, you honor your growth, and you prepare to receive the extraordinary. Remember, good things take time, and the longer you wait with purpose, the sweeter your reward will be. Chapter 10: Living a Life of Peaceful Persistence. Patience is not a one-time choice, it is a lifestyle. It is the quiet strength that whispers to you in moments of frustration, "Not yet, but soon." Living a life of peaceful persistence means trusting the timing of your journey, even when the world seems impatient. It is understanding that the seeds you plant today may not bloom tomorrow, but with care they will grow into a magnificent garden over time. Every step you take, no matter how small, is part of a grand design that only reveals itself when you are ready. To live patiently is to embrace the natural rhythm of life. Life has seasons. Some are filled with rapid growth and progress, while others feel slow, stagnant, or even barren. The key is not to resist these slow seasons but to lean into them. These moments are opportunities to strengthen your roots, to prepare for the next stage of your growth. Just as the earth takes time to nurture a seed into a strong tree, your dreams require the same nurturing patience. Peaceful persistence also requires resilience. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but they are not reasons to give up. They are the testing grounds of your patience. Each struggle shapes your character, builds your endurance, and teaches you lessons that instant success could never provide. By embracing difficulties rather than fleeing from them, you develop a quiet confidence, the kind that does not waver when results are delayed. One of the most profound aspects of peaceful persistence is the ability to focus on the process rather than the outcome. When you measure your worth by results alone, impatience creeps in. But when you find joy in the small daily actions, in the consistent effort and dedication, you align yourself with the natural flow of life. This alignment brings a sense of fulfillment, even before your dreams fully materialize. Living patiently also means silencing the noise of comparison. In today's world, it's easy to see the apparent success of others and feel rushed or inadequate. But remember, what you see is only the surface, often years of unseen effort compressed into a moment of recognition. Your path is unique and your timing is perfect for you. Comparing yourself to others only steals your peace. Patience restores it. True persistence is rooted in self-discipline. It is the commitment to continue working, learning, and improving even when motivation fades. It is waking up each day and taking the next step, even when you cannot yet see the finish line. This disciplined consistency transforms small, almost invisible actions into powerful results over time. The patient person understands that effort compounded over time is unstoppable. Peaceful persistence also invites gratitude. By appreciating the progress you've already made, no matter how incremental, you create a positive feedback loop. Gratitude reminds you that growth is happening even when it's invisible. Each small victory, each lesson learned, and each effort invested is a stepping stone toward your ultimate goals. Recognizing these moments builds inner strength and keeps despair at bay. Another vital element of living patiently is mindfulness. When you are fully present in each moment, you stop obsessing over the future or regretting the past. Mindfulness allows you to savor your journey and observe your progress with clarity and calmness. The patient mind is a peaceful mind, and the peaceful mind is a powerful mind capable of enduring setbacks, embracing uncertainty and trusting the timing of life. Living a life of peaceful persistence also means trusting yourself. Trust that you have the abilities, the wisdom, and the endurance needed to reach your goals. Trust that life is not against you but for you, even when events appear challenging. By cultivating this inner trust, you replace anxiety with calm determination and replace fear of delays with confidence in the unfolding process of your life. Finally, remember that good things always take time. Every meaningful achievement, every lasting relationship, and every personal transformation unfolds at its own pace. When you live patiently, you align with this natural law and invite abundance into your life without forcing it. Peaceful persistence is not about rushing, demanding, or controlling outcomes. It is about showing up each day with unwavering commitment, embracing the journey with gratitude, and trusting that in time, the life you've imagined will manifest, beautifully, fully, and in perfect timing.